Hello everyone, and welcome back to Destiny. We have another very interesting week of news, jam-packed full of information about the next Bungie live event, Festival of the Lost, which will be taking place starting next week and running through the rest of the month. And if Festival of the Lost left a sour taste in your mouth during its last appearance in Destiny 1, based on the information that Bungie has told us about this year's Festival of the Lost, it looks like a lot of those concerns are not going to be an issue this time around. So in this video, let's break down some of those details from this next event and see exactly what we have in store for us. Let's jump into it. Alright, so let's jump into some news right off the bat. This week, Bungie gave us a sneak peek into this year's Festival of the Lost, which is available to all Destiny 2 players regardless of DLC ownership, and it kicks off this coming week on Tuesday the 16th. It looks to be a 3-week long event running until November 6th. Festival of the Lost has had some negative stigma in the past due to negative reactions to the last appearance of the event in Destiny 1. Where it featured an almost exclusively microtransaction-based system the second time around, with very little to earn for yourself by playing the game. Well, if their recent success with Sources of Heroes is any indication, it looks like the live team is learning what players want from these live events, and now that we have many more of the details, it looks like this year's festival is shaping up to be quite an event to remember. So let's go over the details. First up, yes, masks are back, and so are very familiar Festival of the Lost decorations in the tower. Now, with Ava Levante still absent from Destiny 2, our trusty shipwright Amanda Holiday will be taking over the reins as the holiday vendor. She will be providing us with daily bounties that grant a new currency called Fragmented Souls. We can then use these souls to purchase the aforementioned masks, as well as a special new event exclusive auto rifle called Horror Story. Unfortunately, the gun isn't very spooky looking. In fact, it looks like to be a reskin of the origin story from year 1, but hopefully at least it'll come with some killer stats. Now, to potentially help fulfill the event bounties, we have a brand new activity coming for a limited time during just this event, and it's called the Haunted Forest. It is a time trial event that has you enter a spooky version of the Infinite Forest, where you will have 15 minutes to get as deep into the forest as you can, taking on as many enemies as you encounter. You can solo it, you can team up with pals, and you can also matchmake it with up to 3 players. I am beyond excited that they are repurposing the Infinite Forest for this. It's almost like they're testing the grounds for a new kind of activity. There's been, of course, a lot of feedback about the lost potential for the Infinite Forest. A lot of people, including myself, do believe it's a great space to maybe have some sort of horde or survival mode, and well, here it is. So it looks like they are listening to some degree. Now, they haven't discussed the rewards for the Haunted Forest, so maybe they're keeping that as a little spooky surprise for us. So let's hope for at least some powerful gear at the very least. I want a reason to grind this activity out all month long. Now, in addition to all of that, we're getting a murder mystery on our hands, and yes, sadly, as many have speculated, the Cryptarch Master Ives from Destiny 1 has been murdered. And so starting on Tuesday, October 30th with the next update, we'll be granted a brand new quest to track down the killer for ourselves. Now, one interesting detail is the wording of the quest seems to imply that we will have multiple weeks with the new quest line. So if it begins on the 30th and the event is apparently 3 weeks long, meaning that would be the last week of the event, does that mean that this quest will persist past the event? So of course, a lot of questions yet to be answered. I can't wait to get my hands on this questline to see what it's all about and to see who has killed Master Ives. That's pretty insane. Now finally, we have a little preview of some of the items coming in the event-specific engrams. These engrams will be called ephemeral engrams, and they will work very similarly to the Sources of Heroes engrams, meaning that you will get one in addition to the normal Steadfast engram when you level up, and the items will be on a knockout system, meaning that you won't get duplicate items until you collect everything from the event. So if you play enough, you are guaranteed to get every item in the event, which is a pretty great way to go about it. So all in all, the event looks pretty incredible. I can't wait to dive into it next week. But for now, let's move on to another piece of news that was outlined in This Week at Bungie, an announcement of sorts, and it has to do with DLC. So as of right now, if you have a base copy of Destiny 2 and you want to play Forsaken, you actually need to purchase the Year 1 expansion pass for $20 or $10 or whatever price it is, which is kind of inconvenient and can also be very confusing to new players, unless you buy that $60 complete edition of the game, or let's say you bought Destiny 2 when it first came out but never bought the expansions, moved on, and you want to dive back in. Well, it's a little confusing to have to tell everyone, have to explain to people what they have to do to be able to play Forsaken. Well, the good news is, as of the 16th of October, that's no longer going to be an issue, because all you need to play Forsaken is a base copy of Destiny 2 and the $40 Forsaken expansion. Yes, so that means that Forsaken now also bundles in Curse of Osiris and Warmind ownership, meaning that you will have full access to those DLCs as well. This is a very smart move on Bungie's part, especially if they want to grow their player base. Now, you might be saying to yourself, hey, I spent $20 to get caught up on DLC before I got Forsaken. What about me? What do I get? Well, personally, I'm not really complaining. That's sort of par for the course for investing in games early. Prices eventually go down. But for anyone who might be concerned, Bungie has sort of played it safe and is releasing a very special bundle of items for those who have played Forsaken prior to October 16th. In that bundle is a very unique emblem, a unique shader, 2 exotic emotes, and a bundle of consumables, so that should mitigate that a little bit. Aside from that, we have the return of Iron Banner coming next week alongside the launch of the event. It looks like we're going to have specially curated sniper rifles and scout rifles to look forward to. And on top of that, not only does every single daily Iron Banner bounty give you a powerful engram, but this week is also going to be featuring Double Valor and Triple Valor. So from the launch of the event on Tuesday until Friday the 19th, we're going to be having Double Valor, and then during the weekend, we're going to have Triple Valor, which will carry over until the next reset. So it's definitely going to be a great week to play the Crucible. Anyways, let me know what you think of Festival of the Lost. Are you excited for the event? Are you excited for Iron Banner? Let's discuss. If you enjoyed the video, a like is much appreciated, and be sure to subscribe to the channel for much more gaming content right here on Nerd On. Thanks for watching, happy gaming, and I will see you all next time.